Welcome back to CAS 105. Today let's work on Word Module 1, creating, formatting, and editing a Word document with a picture. This is in the textbook. It's going to be WD1. This is the blue section in our textbook. You can go ahead and use the e-text version of the textbook if you like. I happen to be using the paper version. I think it's easier. So to begin, I'm going to need to launch Word. So I can come down here, I can find Word, and launch Word. If I flip to WD2, we're going to go ahead and see the completed document, Figure 1-1, the Surf's Up flyer. If I look on WD3, it tells me to run Word and create a blank document. So that's what I'll do. I open Word and I'll create a blank document. It's then going to make sure that Word says maximize Word. I'm going to close my navigation pane because it's open still. It's going to have me make sure that print layout is enabled, so that's the middle option down here, print layout. If you want, you can choose the view tab to see print layout. It's going to make sure that we're in the normal style, so that's normal under the styles category on the home tab. And then we're going to go ahead and begin and start entering text. So on WD4, we're going to begin typing the text surfs up. Surfs up, exclamation point. We'll press the Enter key to begin a new line. Now let's go ahead and display our formatting marks. Our formatting marks are the backwards P in the paragraph symbol, or paragraph section. That's actually the paragraph symbol. So we'll go ahead and click on the backwards P, and this is the show hide formatting marks. This is going to make following the text a lot easier because you'll be able to go ahead and look at the paragraph symbols or look at the spaces or new lines and see exactly what's going on. You're not going to have to guess how many spaces were entered, how many new lines were there. You'll be able to go ahead and count the paragraph symbols. Okay, so we're going to flip to WD6, where we're going to go ahead and press the Enter key. And this is going to create a blank line, so you'll see if we count our paragraph symbols 1, 2, and 3. We're on the third paragraph symbol. Now let's look to go ahead and zoom our document. So if we click on the View tab, we're going to go ahead and choose the option for Zoom to Page Width. This is going to make our document as large as our resolution allows our window to be full screen. So we choose it to Page Width. We're going to go to WD7 right now, and we're going to look at how Word wraps text as we type. So direction number 1 on WD7 tells us to type the text, learn to surf or improve your form and skills on the waves through expert instruction from our award-winning surf school period. Okay. Let's press the Enter key to create a new paragraph. Okay, so if we look at Figure 1-8, our document should look exactly like Word 1-8. And you'll see that things break in exactly the same places. If we flip to WD8, we'll see that spelling and grammar is what we're going to work on next. So let's go ahead and let's type the word private, and it's asking us to intentionally misspell the word group as G-O-U-P. If we go ahead and press the space bar, we're going to see that Word recognizes this as a misspelled word and flags it with a red underline or squiggly line. If we right click, we'll know that the proper word that we meant to type was group. This is a little shortcut to go ahead and correct common misspellings. We're going to press the End key on the keyboard, and that's going to bring us to the end of the line right before the paragraph symbol. Figure 1-1 is what we're looking at right now. Direction number 2 on page WD9 tells us to type the word lessons and press the Enter key. We'll flip to WD10, where we're going to type the text photo and video packages available. We'll then press the Enter key. Reef shoes and surfboard rental included. And you see how Word is already flagging my misspelled words, and I meant to type and. Press Enter, and then we're going to go ahead and type our signature line, which is going to be to sign up for a lesson, comma, call (555-surf!) exclamation point. Okay, that should complete most of our document text. Let's go ahead and save our document for the first time, and we're going to be saving it to our classwork folder. So we'll say File, Save As. We'll save this to our classwork folder, so I'm going to check Browse to browse my local computer. I'm going to look for my classwork folder. Again, if you're saving this to your flash drive, go to your flash drive and find the CIS 105. We'll go to classwork, and the file name is going to be Surf Flyer. Surf Flyer. And we'll choose Save, and we'll see that our document name changed to Surf Flyer. Throughout the course of the textbook, if you feel that you need to save more often than you're instructed to in the book, there's nothing wrong with that. Save as often as you feel comfortable doing so. Minimally save when the book tells you to save. If we look on page WD11, we're going to see a table that tells us how to move our insertion point using the keyboard, and then what our scroll wheel does on our mouse. If we go ahead and flip to WD12, we're going to see a sample of what our document currently looks like, and then how we're going to format it in figure 1-13B as the formatted flyer. On WD13, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start formatting our document. So we're going to make sure that our Home tab is selected, and then we're going to go ahead and click someplace in the paragraph Surfs Up. It doesn't really matter where. And we're going to go ahead and center this. So we can center this in multiple different ways. One of the easiest ways, if you're on the Home tab, is to find the Center option and click Center. If you want to, you can use the keyboard shortcut, and you saw what that was, Control E on the keyboard. So if I choose Control E on the keyboard, it's going to center the text Surfs Up. I like to use the keyboard shortcuts because then I don't have to switch back and forth to tabs to find those easy items. Let's go ahead and click someplace in the signature line. This is to sign up for a lesson, and then I can either choose Center or hit Control E as well. Let's go ahead and flip to WD14. We'll then move our insertion point into the headline Surfs Up. We'll click someplace in Surfs Up. We're going to go ahead and we're going to change and select the entire line. So we can do so in multiple different ways. We should be able to triple click and select our entire line, or we can easily click and drag. The important thing is to make sure you select the paragraph symbol as well. On page WD15, with the text selected, we're going to go ahead and click the font size option, and we're going to change our font from 11 point. We're going to change it to 72 point, so it's a really large Surf's Up. The text Surf's Up is still selected. We're going to change our font face to Rockwell Extra Bold. So we'll click the down arrow. And if you don't see it in your recently used fonts, you can start scrolling down, or if you want to, you can start typing the text Rockwell. And then you see that Rockwell comes up, and then it's just an easier scroll, Rockwell Extra Bold. The text is still selected. Let's go ahead and use the option on page WD17 to change case. So right now, Surf's Up is a capital S, lowercase urf apostrophe s, capital U, lowercase p. But let's use the change case option. So the change case option is on the font group. It's going to be the big A with the little a next to it. And let's change the case to uppercase. This is going to capitalize every single letter, regardless of the position it is, if it's the first line, first letter in the first line or not. It automatically capitalizes everything. With the text Surf's Up still selected, let's go ahead and apply some style to our text. So what we'll do is we're going to go to the font category, and we're going to find the text effect option. So we'll hit the drop down arrow on text effect. Here we're going to point on WD18, we're going to point to the fill white outline accent 2 hard shadow accent 2. So this will be the orange outline, fill white outline accent 2 hard shadow accent 2. Let's click any place else outside of Surf's Up. Now it's been deselected. Now let's go ahead and click someplace back in Surf's Up again. And let's apply some paragraph shading. So paragraph shading is the paragraph category and what looks like a paint bucket. If we click the arrow next to paragraph shading, we're going to go ahead and find the color they're asking for, which is orange accent 2 darker 25%. So the way that colors work in Word is if you see an accent color, you know that it's going to be a theme color. If you see a percentage after the accent color, you know it's not going to be a top theme color. It's going to be one that's in the middle here, and you guessed it, lighter up top, darker down the bottom. And if you saw no word accent, you just saw orange, it was probably a standard color, orange. So let's go ahead and let's find the orange accent 2 darker 25%. So according to the book, it should be the second from the last orange color in the orange row. Okay, so that's how we're going with that one. Let's flip to WD20. On WD20, we're going to learn how to select multiple lines at once. So we're going to go ahead and move the mouse pointer to the left of the first paragraph, Learn, and we're going to click and drag to select everything, including the paragraph symbol, but not selecting the signature line. The next thing we'll do is we'll change the font size of the selected text. So with all of this selected, we can do multiple things. We can go ahead and change the font size from the font size option. And let's change our font size to 24 point. Okay, so we've gone ahead and selected that. Let's add a bulleted list. So let's move the insertion point to the category or word called private or group lessons. So let's click here, and we'll click and drag all the way to say reef shoes included. When we do this, we're going to see our floating toolbar. And it's kind of picky sometimes. If you accidentally click off it, you're not going to see your floating toolbar anymore. So you just reselect that. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to go ahead and add a bulleted list. So we'll see that we have an option for bullets. If we click the bullet option, we'll see that we automatically turned our paragraph into 3 bulleted items. And it did this because we have a return after each one of the lines. You can practice using the undo and redo options. So in the toolbar, we choose undo bullets and then choose redo bullets. We'd also have the ability to undo multiple actions. We don't want to do that, obviously. Let's keep our bullets just the way they are. On page WD23, we're going to go ahead and italicize some text. So let's click someplace in the word expert, and we'll choose italics on the toolbar. You can also use Control-I on the keyboard. We'll flip to WD24. So after we've italicized the word expert, we're going to go ahead and we're going to change the font color. So if we click the drop-down arrow for font color, we'll see that we have the option to choose the same color we used as our background shading. Orange accent to darker 25%. Now the word expert appears in orange. On WD25, we'll use the mini toolbar to format some more text. So let's select the text to sign up for a lesson called 555 Surf. Again, we can do this by clicking and dragging, or we should be able to triple click. We can get the entire line that way. And the floating toolbar appeared. So let's use the floating toolbar to format our document, or our line rather, with 28-point font. We'll flip to WD25, where it's going to have us use the already existing color that's in the font color, which is that orange one. We can just click it, or if we needed to, we can choose the drop-down arrow and select the proper orange color again. Now we change the entire last line to that orange accent to darker 25%. And we'll click off our document, our selected text. Let's go ahead and position the insertion point immediately to the left of the first character in the word 555. So that would be right here before the 5. Let's select 555 surf, but not select the exclamation point. We're going to have to click and drag to go ahead and do this. Now we're going to underline this text, so you can underline in one of two ways. You can choose the underline option in the toolbar, or you can choose Control-U on the keyboard. Control-U will underline the exact same way. Let's select the text award-winning. So this is award-winning. Award-winning. And we don't need to select the extra space after award-winning. So we can click and drag. And let's bold this text. Our floating toolbar appeared, so we can choose the B, or we can choose Control-B on our keyboard to highlight the text award-winning, make it stand out. Let's change our view options. View, and let's make it say 1 page. What's going to happen now is we're going to zoom our entire document out so that we see the entire thing on 1 page. This way it shows all of our styling so you can see what's going to happen next. On WD29, let's change our theme colors of our document. We'll choose the Design tab. We'll go ahead and change the colors associated with the theme. We're currently in the Office theme by default. And let's change it to blue. When we do that, we're going to see that that orange color changes automatically to a blue. And it does this because we chose a particular color. It's going to substitute the exact same left and right in that color pattern. So we'll choose blue. That changed all of our colors back to blue. If we choose View on the toolbar here, and we choose Page Width again, we'll see that we zoom right back in. Just to illustrate what happens when you change your colors, remember that the orange darker that we chose? If we go back to the Home tab, and we choose the color here, we'll see that it's the exact same position, but rather it's in the blue family instead of being the orange family. So that's just to show you how that works. This is a great time to save your document again. So if we choose the Save option, we've already saved it one time with the text Surfs Up as the title. We can just click Save to save it to the exact same place. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's flip to WD31. On WD31, it's going to make sure that we're on the Home tab, and it's going to have us click someplace in the blank line after the text Surfs Up. And we're going to go ahead and center this. And I'll use Control E on the keyboard, but you could have chosen the center option under paragraph. If we flip to WD32, we're going to go ahead and we're going to choose the Insert option. And let's insert a picture. Now this is different than online picture because this picture has been downloaded to our PC. And this picture is going to come from our data files that we downloaded from the Student Companion site. So go to your data files folder. Mine is located on CIS 105 on my documents. Data files, Word, Module 1, and then we'll see the surfing picture that they're asking for. If you have not yet done so, be sure to check out the student data files video that I have posted. This will show you how to properly download and set up your flash drives with your files you need for all of your projects. Let's click on surfing and choose Insert. It's going to insert the surfing picture in the middle of our page, exactly where our insertion point was. Let's go ahead and choose our zoom options. So let's use the zoom out option. So down at the bottom here we'll see that we're 219%, or at least I am. I'll choose the zoom out so I can go ahead and see my entire document on one page. And we'll notice that my document actually wrapped to 2 pages. If I scroll enough, if I zoom a little more out, someplace in the 70 or less range, we'll see what our document's going to look like. They're suggesting I zoom to 40% to go ahead and see it all on one page. I think I can get away with zooming in a little bit more so everyone can see it a little easier. My picture is still selected, and I can tell my picture is still selected because it has the 6 dots on the outside and the 2 dots in the middle, making a total of 8 dots. What we'll do is we're going to go ahead and resize our picture. So if we go to the lower left-hand side of the picture, we can click and drag up to resize our picture. And we're going to do so until our flyer fits on one page. Alright, and it's not important to be exact at this point because we're going to go ahead and make sure that we adjust the picture with exact proportions in this size option. If you notice, because we have a picture selected, we have a brand new toolbar called Picture Tools. And there's a format option and a size option here. Let's change the size to 3.7 high by 5.06 wide. So if I go ahead and click and type 3.7, watch what happens to my width. 3.7, remember I'm at 5.35 right now. If I click it, it's going to keep it the same right now. If that's not what happened for you, you can go ahead and click on the More Options for the Size category, and we can see that our aspect ratio is locked right now. If you're having trouble getting your size to be exactly the same way, if I type where it says 5.06, if I go ahead and was to change that, it says 5.35 right now. If it didn't say 5.06 and say 5.35, I really want to do this. I want to change lock my aspect, type what I wanted to here. That would resize both the height and the width, let it resize properly, and then re-choose lock aspect ratio. And you see that's something that you may have to do in Chapter 3 of Word. So our thing should be 3.7 tall by 5.06 wide. And again, it's going to depend on the picture that you have if for some reason your picture is not the exact width that the publisher's picture was. If I go back to my View tab and I choose Zoom 100%, we'll zoom as large as 100% fits on the screen. So I can't see the entire document, but I can see almost all of it on one screen. Let's go ahead, make sure our picture is still selected, and apply a picture style. We're on WD36 right now. So we'll go to Format. The picture is still selected. We'll go ahead and look at our picture styles. Let's click the drop-down arrow for picture style, and let's find the picture style that is soft edge oval. So if you hover over it, it's going to say soft edge oval. We'll click that. It's now gone ahead and cropped our picture to be an oval shape with softer edges. Let's apply some more picture effects. So our picture style is here. We have picture effects. Our picture effect option, we're going to choose glow. We're going to go ahead and change the glow to lime 5-point glow accent color 6. Lime 5-point glow accent color 6. So that's going to go ahead and be lime to the right, excuse me. Lime 5-point glow accent color 6. If you're having trouble finding the proper colors right now, you may have missed the step changing the design colors to blue. If you don't have this set on blue, that means that when you go to change your picture effects for glow, you're not going to have the proper colors here. So make sure you correct that mistake. WD38, we've applied that picture effect. Let's go ahead and apply another picture effect. Picture effect, bevel, and we'll use the option for angle. Use the angle picture effect. Now it kind of has a nice edge on it. Let's apply a page border. So I'm going to go ahead, go to my Design tab. I will see Page Borders, and we'll apply a page border. This page border will be the dotted line that looks like the dash with 2 dots in it. As soon as you click that, it's going to change it to a box border. We'll go ahead and change our color, and the color we're looking for is lime accent 6. Lime accent 6, lighter 40%. So lime accent 6, lighter 40%. That should be this one here, lighter 40%. We'll change our width from 1/2 point to 4 1/2 points. We'll click the OK button, and now we have a border that goes all the way around our document, and it has a large dash and 2 small dashes. Let's go ahead and change our view to view on 1 page. So let's choose 1 page, and that zooms it out. Mine's zooming to about 77% right now. Again, that's going to depend on the size of your monitor right now and the resolution you have. Let's go ahead and change our spacing before and after paragraph. This is WD-40. So if I go to the Layout tab on WD-40, we'll see that we have an option for spacing before and after. So let's put our insertion point someplace in the word surfs up. And let's go ahead and change our space after so that it's 12 point. So right now it's on 8 point. If I go ahead and change our space after, I hit the up arrow, it goes to 12 point. If I go ahead and position the insertion point in the signature line, this is the to sign up for a lesson, we'll see that I had a space after of 8 point and a space before of nothing. I'd like to go ahead and change that space before to 12 point. You see that my line moved down a little bit. Just trying to center some things, make them look nice. On WD-41, we're going to center our page vertically. So let's go ahead and let's choose the Layout tab. We'll then go ahead and choose the Page Setup. I'll call this the More options. On Page Setup, we're going to go ahead and click the Layout option, and then we'll find a Page Vertical Alignment. Instead of it saying Top, let's go ahead and change that to Center. If we look at how our document is right now, and then click the OK button, it would have moved our document, which you couldn't really see change, to be exactly centered between the top and bottom of the document. We're going to go ahead and save our document right now with the same file name of Surf Flyer, so let's just click the Save button. You don't necessarily have to close the document and reopen it. If you want to practice, you can go ahead and do so. Just click the X and then open it again from your flash drive or your documents wherever you saved it. So on page WD-43, it has us run word again. It's already open. It has us open the Surf Flyer, which we did. Make sure that it is maximized, which it still is. And the View tab, we are at View 100%. Zoomed in pretty far right now. Let's go ahead and insert some text into our existing document. So let's go ahead and click in front of the O in the word or in the very first paragraph, Learn to Surf. And let's change and add the word today. Space. Insert the word today. So now we have Learn to Surf today or improve your form. On WD-44, we're going to go ahead and double click the word today. This will include the extra space afterwards when you double click, and we'll choose the delete key. We can delete using the delete key on the keyboard. Let's learn how to move some text right now. So let's select the text Reef Shoes and Surfboard Rental Included. So if I go ahead and triple click on Reef Shoes and Surfboard Rental Included, 1, 2, 3, it'll select the entire line including the paragraph symbol. If I click and drag it in front of the word photo, we'll see that it reordered, and because I selected the paragraph symbol, it even brought the paragraph symbol with us, which means it moves the bullet points around. If I go ahead and click someplace elsewhere, just to deselect that. Let's save our document again. For my class, I don't require that you print your document, so you don't actually need to do that on page 46. Let's take a look at what reading mode looks like. So if you click down the bottom, you could see that we're in print layout right now. We can choose reading mode. And we'll see that our document's going to appear nice and large as if it was a book layout here. Reading mode is great if you're just reading over documents so that it zooms nice and large. I'm going to turn mine back to the normal layout, paper layout, or view, column layout. I could change my page color if I want because maybe it's dark out and I want it to be black paper with white text. Or maybe I want to change my color to sepia if I want, so that it's not so difficult on the eyes. Or I'll go back to none. If I go back to my print layout, we'll go back to our normal document. The document is now complete. We'll click Save again. Let's go to the portal. We'll go to the Assignments tab. I may have clicked too many times. Assignments tab. We'll see that there's an assignment open for us, Word Module 1. We'll click it. We'll choose the Upload option. I'm going to choose my file. This file is going to be existing on my local computer, so I'll choose Upload. I'll upload my file from my Documents folder, from my 105 folder, from my Classwork folder, one file here called Surf Flyer, and I'll choose Insert. I don't need to label it or add a description. I could just choose Add File. When I do that, because my document's complete, I'll click the big giant blue Turn It In button. Now that I've done that, I can no longer edit or interact with this document, and it's available waiting for me to grade your file. That's all there is to Chapter 1, Module 1 textbook project. Upon completing this, you'll want to work on the Module 1 Apply Your Knowledge, which begins on the very next page, WD 48. In this document, you'll go ahead and apply the skills that you just learned to go ahead and complete the 27 steps to format your document to look exactly like the Figure 1-72.